You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 195.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, with a little bit of major national sports news, anything that may be of interest to Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report. We thank you for spending a little bit of your day with us. Today is March 5th, 2025. It's a Wednesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. Coming up, we have all of our local boys basketball results. If you're interested in all the scores from across the state and mine and Michelle Garman's take on the scores, we released that earlier this morning, on Wednesday, I should say the day. Sorry, Susie. Also Tuesday, IU, Purdue, Ball State, and the Pacers were in action. And Indiana Wesleyan's women's basketball team played for a Crossroads League title. Plus, we have some local college baseball, softball, and volleyball. But before we get to that, please, I'm begging you to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're doing a lot of cool things over there, and you need to be subscribed. So just search Central Indiana Sports Report at YouTube. We are easy to find. We've done a ton the last couple of days, including a Frankton sectional breakdown with Tipton's Grady Carter, Sam Quigley, and Landon Spidell. Elwood head coach Ryan Van Skyok, Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry, and Frankton's Brent Brobston and Trey Bennett. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good podcast. Please go listen to that one. I was joined, of course, by Michelle Garman on that one. But we've got IU, Purdue, Pacers, IndyCar, boxing, all kinds of coverage going on. Just check out our library of segments. It is vast. We start in Class 4A with our boys basketball quarterfinal sectional scores. The 4A sectional at Kokomo is a 4-team sectional. That starts Friday. The rest began Tuesday. We start at Carmel, where Noblesville beat the host Greyhounds 51-32. The Millers are now 18-5. Carmel's season ends at 10-13. Justin Curry had 24 points and Barron Walker 15 for the Millers. Carmel was led by 10 points from Leon Mann. Noblesville faces 13-11 Hamilton Southeastern in Friday's first semifinal. The Millers beat HSE 54-49 on January 1st. Defending champion, number 1 and unbeaten Fishers is now 25-0 after beating number 3 Westfield 54-47. Westfield's amazing season comes to an end at 18-4. Fishers has now won 38 straight games, the 6th longest streak in state history. John Anthony Hall scored 15, Jason Gardner the second 13, and Justin Kirby 10 for the Tigers. Junior Drew Hafner had a game-high 19 points for Westfield. Fishers will play 12-12 Zionsville in Friday's second semifinal. Fishers beat Zionsville in a close one, 56-50 on February 21st. Now we go to Muncie Central, where number 16 Mount Vernon beat Richmond 65-35. The Marauders are now 19-5 on the season and face number 5 Anderson, which is 21-2, in Friday's first semifinal at Muncie Central. Luke Ertl scored 22 points to lead Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon beat Anderson 56-52 on December 17th, one of Anderson's 2 losses. That's going to be a great one. And number 2, Greenfield Central ended Pendleton Heights' season with a 72-47 win. Greenfield's 22-3. Heights' season ends 9-15. All-American Braylon Mullen scored 15 of his 30 points in the first quarter. Senior Michael Johnson, 23 points on 9 of 12 shooting with 9 rebounds and 6 assists for the Cougars. Cooper Sims was hot early and finished with 19 points to lead the Arabians. Greenfield Central plays a Muncie Central team they beat 68-39 in Friday's second semifinal. Class 3A at Belmont Norwell stopped Mississinewa 51-41. Josh McBride scored 19, Nick McBride 13, and Adam McBride 11 for Norwell. Ravion Fetts, a freshman for Mississippi, scored 17 points to lead the Indians. Norwell now plays 13-10 New Haven on Friday. New Haven beat the Knights 53-41 on January 25th. And in game 2 was Marion 75, Belmont 56. Marion's now 11-11 on the season, and they play 12-10 Heritage on Friday in the second semifinal at Belmont. The Giants and Patriots did not play during the regular season. Logan Barnes led Marion with 17 points. Tim Jones had 16. Kobe Johnson, 11. Jadian Smith, 9. Mari Rogers scored 7. Manu Jackson scored 5 in the win. Also in 3A at Logansport, there was just one game on Tuesday, and Peru beat Twin Lakes in a good one, 50-48. The Tigers are now 10-12 and play 18-15 Logansport in the second game of Friday's sectional semifinals. Peru beat Logansport 71-42 in the season opener. The other quarterfinals will be played Wednesday, and we'll have that schedule coming up for you. 3A at Newcastle, Yorktown jumped on top of Jay County 27-5 at the end of the 18-3 at the end of the first, 27-5 in the middle of the second quarter, and beat the Patriots 69-45. Yorktown is now 7-16. They had 5 players in double figures. Connor Rowray, 14. Nate Tyler, 12. Ryan Burkholder, 11. Mason Trammell and Austin Kate scored 10 points apiece. Jay County's Graydon Swovlin had a great game-high 19. Yorktown will now play rival Delta, the two-time reigning sectional and regional champions. Delta is 14-7 and beat Yorktown 53-45 on December 13th. Connorsville pulled off one of the big upsets of the night, beating Hamilton Heights 44-42. Heights actually led 26-17 at the half. Connorsville's now 10-14. Hamilton Heights season ends 14-8. Really good year for the Huskies. Disappointing end. They shot just 28% from the field. They were led by Carson Felgers, 13 points. Connorsville plays 8-14 Newcastle on Friday. In the second game, Newcastle beat Connorsville 56-47 on January 11th. In Class 2A, we start at Wabash, where Rochester ended Eastern season with a 64-51 victory. Rochester's now 17-5. Eastern season ends 10-13. Drew Bauer scored 22 of his game-high 32 points in the first half for the Zebras. Colton Lindsay led the Comets with 25. Rochester now plays rival Manchester. They were beaten by the 4th-ranked Squires 70-45 on January 14th. Lewis Cass beat Wabash 50-41. Winless Wabash led 36-35 at the end of the third. Cass plays 16-6 Oak Hill in the second semifinal on Friday. The Kings and Golden Eagles did not play during the regular season. In the first sectional ever held at Frankton in boys basketball, the first game was Tipton 41, Taylor 31. Tipton's now 17-6, Taylor 16-8. For Tipton, Grady Carpenter had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. Sam Quigley, 10 points and 6 rebounds. Peyton Aller, 5 points and 5 rebounds. And Landon Spidell had a huge impact in the game, especially early on. He had 4 points and 6 rebounds. Tipton plays 16-5 Sheridan on Friday. Those teams did not play in the regular season. And Frankton beat Elwood for the second time this season, 58-43 for their 12th win in a row. They actually had to come from behind in this one, trailing at the end of the first quarter. Trey Bennett scored 24 points for the Eagles. Joey Wright finished with 13. Cam Gallegos scored 16 to lead Elwood. Frankton now plays number 9 ranked Lapel, which is 18-5. In Friday's second semifinal, Lapel beat Frankton 61-50 in Lapel in the season opener. And at Blackford, it was number 1 Wapahani 50, Eastbrook 40. Wapahani's now 23-1. Eastbrook's season ends at 14-8. Nate Luce finished with 19 points to lead the Raiders. Camden Bell had 15 points and 9 rebounds. Wapahani plays 14-9 CIC champion Blackford, the host of the sectional, on Friday. Madison Grant blasted Burris 82-40. Behind 31 points from Brock Barnhart, who made 6 3-pointers in the second quarter. Luke Gilman added 19. I talked to Brock Barnhart about his career game on Wednesday morning. So you ever been hot like that in a game before?
Not as hot as that. When I get confident, I just keep shooting. So I just kept shooting and kept going in. So I just put up 6 of them.
Game of your life?
Hopefully this Friday is going to be better. I'm trying to win that one too.
All right, and that was my next question. You planning on keeping it going on Friday against a good Alexandria team?
Yeah, they're going to try to prevent. They're probably going to try to prevent me from shooting threes, I would guess, and that should open up the rest of our offense. So we should handle that.
Burris was led by 19 points from Gavin Mitchell. Madison Grant plays 7 and 16 Alexandria on Friday. The Argyles just beat Alexandria 70-65 about a month ago at Alexandria. That should be a really good one. In Class A at Southwood, it was Northfield at 48. The host Knights 36. Northfield's now 10 and 13. They were led by Carter Rogers 20 points and Tyson Bears 13. And it was Cowan 60, North Miami 52. Cowan's 8th win on the year. They were led by Luke Garrett with 16 points, Lucas Terrell with 13, and Brody Clifford with 11. Gentry Groves had 7 points and a team best 9 rebounds. Northfield and Cowan will play each other in the first semifinal on Friday. The second pair of semifinalists will be determined on Wednesday. And at Purdue, Broad Ripple, Tinley handled Indiana Math and Science 64-55. Then Liberty Christian beat MTI Knowledge Academy 83-28. The Lions are now 15-8 on the season and looking to repeat as sectional champions. Liberty led 26-5 at the end of the first and 58-12 at the half. TJ English led the balanced attack with 17 points. It'll be Tinley and Liberty Christian on Friday. And in this sectional as well, the other semifinalists will be determined Wednesday. We only have a handful of sectional games Wednesday, most of them in Class A, but we start in Class 3A at Logansport, where 13-10 Western takes on 17-5 Maconaquah. They played a double overtime thriller in the regular season. Then it's 12-8 Northwestern against defending champ and 17-6 West Lafayette. At Southwood, a wide open sectional that any of the remaining teams can win. 9-13 Tri-Central starts their postseason against 6-15 Daleville, a team much better than their record. Before 9-12 West Dell plays 1-20 Southern Wells. Sorry, not any team left can win it. Almost any team left can win it. At Purdue Broad Ripple, it's 6-11 International against 3-14 Purdue Broad Ripple. Then it's 15-8 Anderson Prep looking for their first postseason win ever against 1-21 Indiana Deaf. That should happen. The Jets just beat the Orioles 85-27 a couple of weeks ago. Really hoping for Liberty and Anderson Prep in the championship. I think everyone in Madison County hopes that's the game. The Indiana Pacers held Houston to 45 points in the second half and won for the 16th time in their last 21 games, 115-102. Tyrese Halliburton was amazing. He finished with 28 points and 15 rebounds and just 2 turnovers. Pascal Siakam had 18 points, and Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith scored 16 each. Number 18 Purdue is 21-9 after beating Rutgers 100-71. The Boilermakers outscored the Scarlet Knights 50-30 in the second half behind 23 points apiece from Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer and 16 from Trey Kaufman-Wren. Smith also had 9 assists and 5 rebounds. Lawyer made 7 threes, and Kaufman-Wren finished with 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Freshmen Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, who are expected to be 2 of the top 5 draft picks in this spring's NBA draft, scored 13 and 12 respectively to lead 14 and 16 Rutgers. IU couldn't overcome a poor shooting night in Eugene, Oregon. The Hoosiers shot just 40% and lost 73-64 to the Ducks. IU is now 18 and 12 and was led by 16 points from Trey Galloway. Oregon's Jackson Shelstad, he's a good one, finished with a game high 17. Ball State dropped a heartbreaker 69-67 to Central Michigan. The Cardinals led 39-22 at the half, but were outscored 47-28 after halftime. Jermari Hill led all scorers with 21 points off of the Ball State bench. Indiana Wesleyan's women claimed the Crossroads League championship by beating Marion 64-58. The Wildcats got 17 points from Lily Lee Frazier, 14 from Jaden Nutley, and 13 from Taylor Folkema. They'll play in the NAIA tournament next week and will host the first 2 rounds. Ball State swept a doubleheader against Florida A&M Tuesday in Tallahassee. In baseball, I should be clear. The Cardinals won 7-3 in the opener and 20-2 in Game 2. Dylan Grego drove in 5 runs on the day. The 2 teams play at 4 o'clock Wednesday. IU baseball fell to 5-8 with a 13-11 loss to Northern Kentucky in Bloomington, despite 6 runs in the 5th inning. Andrew Wiggins drove in 3 runs and scored twice for the Hoosiers. Purdue is 12-1 after a 14-4 win in Terre Haute over Indiana State. The Boilermakers scored 5 times in the first and 4 more times in the second. Aaron Manias was 4 for 5 with 3 home runs and 8 runs driven in. He also had a double, 4 extra base hits. Indiana Wesleyan softball is 5-1. The Wildcats beat New College of Florida 8-5 and Cornerstone, Michigan 7-3 for 4 straight wins. Jordan Ball tossed the shutout against St. Thomas. Abby Harvey was 3 for 5 with 3 runs driven in, and Briley Bilger was 2 for 3 and hit a home run in the win over Cornerstone. Mackenzie Noah threw a pair of shutouts in Taylor's doubleheader sweep of Defiance Tuesday, 5-0 and 17-0. Emory Agri was 6 for 6 on the day for the Trojans. And Ball State's men's volleyball team won their 3rd straight and 10th in their last 12 matches by beating Quincy in 4 very close sets. Check out these set scores: 23-25, 25-23, 26-24, and 25-23. Wednesday's highlights, along with all of the local sectional quarterfinals. The Big Ten's women basketball tournament gets underway in Indianapolis, with Minnesota against Washington, Rutgers against Nebraska, and Iowa against Wisconsin at Greenbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. IU starts Thursday at noon against Oregon. Purdue did not make the field. The worst 3 teams were cut from the tournament. We will have a full preview on the women's Big Ten tournament with Michelle Garman. We expect to release that today. Sorry, Susie. Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And MAC champion Ball State hosts Buffalo at 6:30. That game can be seen on ESPN Plus. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Hey, do us a favor. Please share these episodes of the Central Indiana Sports Report with your friends and family. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.